All right, well, let's just get started anyway. Gail is fooling around with the lighting. Uh, we had a equipment malfunction, which, quite frankly, is not a bit surprising. But with the light on my face, I will go ahead and admit to you whether you're. Oh, you can turn that one down. That's for sure.
How's that?
Yeah, boy, that really does make my. Yeah, turn it back, pull it back over here where this other one was,
Well, I can't
if you
take it
can.
too far. Let's try that.
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
How's that?
Well, that's better, but still, you can turn it down if you know how. No, turn down the volume if you know how.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, that's all right.
Okay.
We'll go with this. I mean, this is O'Neill. This is, what can I tell you? It's as good as it's going to get. Yeah, I can't help it. I've been around a long, long time, and so how about that?
I guess that's better. Yeah.
Well, there's Gail Williams. You saw her for first time in a long time. So, anyway.
Well, we'll just have to live with it because that plug is totally. I've never seen a plug tear up like that.
Oh, well, it broke. All right. Well, we have
Allison
trouble
says
from time to time.
Allison said it looks okay.
Okay. Allison's the judge. There's Charlotte. She's all right. And Stephen. So, okay, there you are. All right, let's talk fishing for a little while. I want to remind you, of course, that we're in the transition. Whatever the lake you're fishing in, we're in the transition from spawning and shallow water fish to deep water fish if you're on big reservoirs. But one thing I want you to keep in mind now, I want you to remember, I want you to know this, okay? But it lasts the whole year long. Cold water is heavier than warm water. So if you're in your boat, and you're so smart, you're in your boat and you say, oh man, my electronics tell me the surface temperature is almost 80 degrees now already. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? The water that's below you is much cooler and much more attractive to the fish. So don't throw to the bank, go right under the boat. And there's so many things that go with that. But I want to concentrate today on maybe a technique that I've got to tell you about that's fabulous. It really is fabulous, and I'll tell you the reasons why. And what is that? Drop shotting it's True Turn makes a standout hook. Now I can't show it to you because it'd be too small, but it's a standout hook so that when you tie your hook on the line with the weight at the bottom, your hook doesn't sit like this, it sits like this, it sits straight out. That's called the standout hook. And they make a fly or a jig that's called the shot and lure. And it's made with a standout hook and then the imitation lure. So it sits like this. Now here's the tip. Two things. Number one, on the bottom, instead of just using a bullet weight or an egg weight or something like that at the bottom, and then with the lure at the top, up the line with the standout at about 12 or 18 inches, instead of doing that, do two things. Number one, the weight at the bottom should be a Roadrunner. It acts as a weight. It has a spinner. It has color. It's another attractant. And it gives you another bait in the water. And if you are fishing deep, then here's an idea that you got to trust me on this now until you try it. Instead of the drop shot with the Roadrunner at the bottom, and up the line a shot and lure with the standout, put another one on, another 12 inches up. So what you have now is you've got three baits in the water. Now, what does that connect to? Something that we talked about over the last couple of weeks. Remember I told you especially when you're fishing in deep water, whether it's a small lake, a major reservoir, on the river, whatever the case might be, now is the time for you to switch to deep. remember that whatever you've located with your electronics will probably show you there's not just one fish there, there's a school of fish there, unless you've spooked them off somehow, and we're not going to get to that. There's a school of fish there. So one bass, one spot, one largemouth, whatever, one crappie, he bites that bait, that shot and lure with the standout. He bites it. Maybe it's a standout hook with a minnow on it. Okay. He bites that and you feel it. Now here's a couple of things. Number one, you will likely feel that bite better than if it were reversed and you had the weight up top and the hook at the bottom, the traditional Texas rig. If you had the weight and then the hook and the lure or the plastic worm at the bottom. Because that lure in that line of feel that goes to your rod tip would be much more sensitive if the weight were at the bottom. And that's one of the reasons it works. So let's go back to having these 3 lures in the water again. Gosh, I'm so smart. It's funny.
Yes.
It's funny, isn't it?
But I do think you're smart.
All right. You feel this bite, and you feel it better because of what I just said. You got him. Your natural tendency is, the rod bends. In other words, there's no slack. The rod is bent. And you start reeling. Hold on a second. Remember, there's not just one fish there. There could be 50 fish there. There could be 50 bass there. So instead of going ahead, oh, I got him, oh man, he's a good one, I got him. Up. When you first set that hook in his own, tension is on the tension is on the line, the tension is going to the hook, you've got him. What's the hurry? Do you suppose that fish, that bass that just bit that lure may encourage others to bite? I say yes. But, it's demonstrated because many years ago, a fellow by the name of Gary Moore, not the guitar player, a fellow by the name of Gary Moore, took me to Lake Lanier and in December, and we fished the deep water docks over the brush. Gary showed me how to use a drop shot rig, and he put 3 baits, minnows mostly, but minnows and shot and lures up the line. And he showed me, if you set the hook once and you got one on, don't be in a hurry. Just let it, just hang on for a second. Just hang on, and then we'd reel up 2 instead of 1. I know in 2 hours one day, one ideal, not every day, one ideal time, I was with Gary, and Gary was he kept the fish, okay? He loved crappie, and he brought a 5-gallon bucket with him. And in 2 hours, we filled that bucket with crappie. Mostly him, not me. Mostly him. So it will work if you'll give it a chance. Drop shot rig, shot and lure, shot and lure, shot and lure. And don't get in a hurry. Let him, you got him, okay? If he gets off, so what? He'll bite again. Now, okay. This is really getting sensitive now. If you're fishing deep water direct over a brush pile, in a tree, whatever the case might be, you're dropped right straight down, The sun is in your face, so the shadow of the boat is behind you. The wind is blowing a little bit. There's a little ripple on the water, which keeps the diffuses the light. And you're using a drop shot rig. Are you right-handed? Do you suppose you can feel a bite better with your right hand than your left hand? I bet you can. So, I mean, we're not after world's records here, okay? We're fishing for fish. We're fishing for meat. We're fishing for dinner. If you'll use a spinning reel, you'll catch more fish. You believe that? Well, a lot of things I tell you about this thing is speculation on my part, but things that have been proven for me. And the only way that you're gonna see is for you to do it and see. If you're right-handed and you're fishing deep direct off the side of the boat, you'll feel more bites and therefore catch more fish if you use a spinning reel in your right hand, because you can feel better. I recall years ago, there was it was ESPN Sports or something, I don't remember. And it was an underwater, well-known underwater photographer, filmmaker. And in the boat was the Sports Afield editor. I'll think of his name in a minute. He was the writer for Sports Afield, fishing editor for Sports Afield. And what they were doing, they were in Silver Springs, Florida. Super clear water, just like gin, just clear. They got all set up, and he made the cast, and he's working his bait. It was a worm, I think, or it might have been a jig, and he's working it back to the boat, working back on the reel, and a bass bit it, and another one bit it, and he never set the hook. And the cameraman surfaced after that, and he said, "Hey, what's going on here? You should have set the hook. You got 3 bites." He said, "I never felt them." It's heartbreaking to know how often that happens. It really is. You got anything over there, baby?
Someone wanted to know about fishing in stained water, what you use.
Okay. In stained water fishing, use dark baits. It's that,
doesn't that seem kind of contradictory?
Well, you
wouldn't be able to see it.
Yes, you see it better with a dark bait than a light bait. The light bait in stained water fades into the stained water. It's translucent, most of it. So you should use a dark bait in dark water. Dark blue, it doesn't have to be black. Dark blue will work. But it's that same old things that you'll hear from O'Neill over and over again. Dark bait, dark water, dark day, dark bait. Dark day, dark water, dark bait. Light day, clear water, light bait.
I can see that.
Yep.
I can understand that part, not the dark one.
Okay.
Like and share, please. And share.
Yeah, like this, please, and share it. I might get somebody to sponsor this one day. You think?
No.
Does everybody would run away from this and think I'm a nut?
No, you just won't.
Okay, I'm not. I won't do it. I don't care how much you offer me. I'm not going to let you sponsor this.
There we go. Lots of thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
We didn't do this to make money. We did it for information's sake.
That's right. And I see that Shane Sullers says you and Davey Height should do a TV show together.
Well, I did.
We have. We visited the Kingfisher Society a few years ago, and we did a bass fishing show. It's in North Carolina, Laurel Hill, North Carolina. Great story to tell you about that. Bear with me a minute. I think this is a great illustration. It was wintertime and it was cold. Now this may be the best bass fishing lake in the world, and I'm with a guy who's won the Bassmasters Classic, Davey Ott. So we're fishing and we're getting prepared for the day or whatever. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. And the air temperature that morning when we went out was 24. The surface temperature of the water was 42. So, a couple of diehards, let's give it a try. We're using mop jigs. We're using crawfish imitation lures. That's what you should. It's wintertime. That's when you use crawfish. So, I'm at the front of the boat, and I get the first shot at every target, every clump of weeds, every blowdown, every stump that you can see. I get first shot at it, okay? So Davey's in the back of the boat, and he's fishing. It's happened to you before, too. He's fishing used water, okay? Now, again, fabulous lake. In 2 hours, I caught 2, and he caught 5. Which is about right. He's probably 2.5 times better than me. And how is he doing it? Because he's experienced and he can feel the fish better. He's just better. And his casts, and I asked him about this on the show, his casts were much more precise. It was a clump of weeds or a stump, and I would make my cast, and I would land a foot or so from the edge of the stump or from the edge of the grass. But when Davey made his cast, and mine would splash, what the heck. But when he made his cast, his mop jig would hit the side of the grass and just fade down into the water, or hit the side of the stump and slowly go down into the water. And he could feel the bites better than I could feel the bites, and I caught 2 and he caught 5. And he is a great guy. Okay.
Okay,
yes,
you
ma'am.
need to talk about this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Stick around, everybody. Now, before the show is over, we're gonna give away, and we have somebody off site to choose. We're gonna give away a Fox.
Fox.
We're going to give away a Works Tools Axis reciprocating saw. See here, you can do this. Let me show you how this happens. Okay, if I can do it without hurting myself. See, it can be a saw like this, or it can be a saw like that. So you have to be around to the end. So we're going to tell you who wins,
okay, and they really should be on when we announce the winner at the end.
Okay.
And they have 2 weeks to claim their prize.
Uh-huh.
And then they need to allow us 2 weeks for it to get
Okay.
there.
You have to be on at the end of the show. You have to hear you.
Don't have to be, but it would be good.
It would be
if you
better.
were. Yes.
And we'll let you know. You have 2 weeks to respond with to an address we give you so that you can respond, and then it gives us 2 weeks to send the saw to you. That thing cost over $100. It's a great tool. It really is.
I want one.
You've got one right there.
I know. But
I'll
it's
let you
for
use that one if you want to.
demonstration purposes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Where was I? Okay. What?
Kelton says he's never done good night fishing
Oh.
for bass. Give me some pointers. I want to learn.
Okay. The 2 night baits. Number 1, get away from the bank. Number 2, fish the humps. And I'll give you an illustration. Okay, you've got a sunken island or a long point that goes out into the lake, and it's got some brush on it, and it's got some stumps on the side and everything, and the bass stay in that cool water, in that cover all day long. They're comfortable there, okay? So night falls. There's no light penetration. So what do the bass likely do? They just get more shallow where they were. They don't say, hey, you know what we ought to do? We ought to go up and roam the banks a little bit and see if we can catch something up there. You suppose we should? And they think about it, the bass do. They think about, nah, yeah, okay, let's do that. No, they don't. No, they just get more shallow where they are. So you fish the same places, but you just fish shallow. That's where they are. I'm going to tell you, here's an illustration now. I'm not going to get away from Davy Height, because I want you to remember this is a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous illustration about that bait being cast just right, that he was doing that I evidently wasn't capable of. I mean, I'm no fool. I've won tournaments and I've done well, but I'm no Bassmasters Classic champion either. Okay. Say your wife says, honey, would you like some chocolate cake and ice cream tonight after dinner? Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll be sure and have some. Okay, get in the truck, drive downtown, buy the chocolate cake, buy the ice cream, bring it back here, and I'll fix it for you. Or, here you are, it's done. That's the comparison to a cast that he was making versus a cast that I was making. Make it easy for the largemouth. Now back to that nighttime fishing, use dark plastics, a little bit bigger than you might ordinarily use. Dark plastics, okay? And I don't know why in the world it works, but it does. But if you'll throw a red and black spinnerbait slowly rolled over the deep points and clear water, you'll get bit. I don't know what they think this thing is, but they've got the contrast against whatever light might be penetrating, and they'll come up out of the deep water and they'll bite that black and red spinnerbait. Yes, ma'am.
What? I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you. Okay, hold on.
Someone said you should bring Henry on for a live.
During this?
Yeah.
I don't like him that much. I can't bring him on this. Well, he would be happy to come over, but I'm sure it's about 40 minutes. We live in the mountains. It'd be 40 minutes over here, and then I'm not going to let him be on the air but 10 minutes at a time. Then he's got 40 more minutes to drive home. No, I'm not going to let Henry be on the... I wanted to tell everybody, give everybody a hint here just for a second.
Have you ever shown everybody Henry's book?
Yeah, where is it?
I don't know. But you should.
Yeah, Henry's got a great book. It's called Striper Fishing on the Fly, but really it's for light tackle striper fishing. It's fishing for stripers with light tackle. And let me tell you something, this striper fishing, this is really getting super duper popular, boy, because, I mean, where can you go in fresh water and you might catch something that weighs 35 pounds? Yes, ma'am. My record striper's 31. Go ahead.
Milton says a black or navy blue buzz bait at night works well too.
Okay.
There you go.
Black and blue?
That's what he's, black and, let's see, wait a minute, let me go back.
Black and blue buzz
Black
bait?
or navy.
Oh, it has to be navy blue. Okay.
Navy blue, because that's almost black.
Yeah. I had something here. Oh, be sure and share. And what? Share and what? Honey?
What?
You share and what?
Like and share.
Like and share, okay? Because this means a lot to O'Neill.
Okay,
and
Allison
Gail.
says she will show you how to get someone on screen with you during the live. We can do a test.
Oh, really?
We'll do that. Yeah, and you can do that. You know, he would appear up here in the corner if we did that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
We could do that and have Milton on also.
Cool. But no, I was going to...
Kelton says, I know you wrote a few pages on the next book this week, right?
Right. Well, it's only Tuesday. Is today Monday or Tuesday? It's only Monday. Give me a break. I'll do
No,
something.
he was talking about it since last time.
Oh, since last week.
You can't get around that.
This Kelton guy put you on the spot,
I'm
won't he?
telling you.
No, Kelton, I have not. Well, Gail has had me vacuuming and
Okay,
changing the
hush up.
sheets and doing the laundry and the dishes and cooking at night. I just haven't had time to.
Okay. Hush.
Okay.
Okay. Henry says, how'd you like our largemouth bass on a fly yesterday?
Oh yes, Henry sent me a photo. He took two ladies fly fishing at Lanier, and they're using surface flies. I don't know whether he was using a dry fly, probably a streamer, I should think. And he sent me a photo, and both of the ladies are mature. Okay, they're not Playboy models.
I'm sure they're going to appreciate that.
Well, no, they're mature ladies, okay, and well, they are, and one of them on a fly rod now, casting a fly with Henry, caught a largemouth, and I saw the photo. It's somewhere between an 8 and a 9 pound largemouth at Lanier, in that super duper clear water. Oh, anyway. This week's radio prize package question. That means you need to watch the show. 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., WSB AM 750 on the AM dial and 95.5 on your FM dial. O'Neill Outside, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Hey, if you were on the radio at 4 o'clock, I'd get up and listen to you. Well, maybe.
Not.
No, I wouldn't either. The radio prize package question this week is, here's the answer, so if you can be ready. Is this fair to do that? Sure it is. I don't care if it's fair or not. Gail and I live in the mountains of North Georgia. For the radio prize package this week on the radio show, the first correct caller with the correct answer wins the radio prize package. Craig says mature is the right. Okay, mature. What did I say?
He said mature women are the best.
Oh, I agree. Okay, the answer for the radio prize package this week is Sassafras Mountain. So, now you have an incentive because you can win Bojangles certificates, $25 to go to Rocco's, a HydroShot glass, Angler Magazine, DNR, a Big Green Egg, something or another, a selection of True Turn tackle. It's worthwhile. Okay, so now you know the answer. Oh, I had something else here. Oh, amazingly so, if you want to watch O'Neill Outside Television, I know there's so many shows, so much to watch, and it's hard to find. It needs to be really easy. You can watch all of O'Neill Outside shows for years and years and years in the past
And
without
Davey
any.
Height is on there.
And what?
Davey Height is on
Yes,
there.
you can look up Davey on there from a few years ago. You can watch all of those shows by going to o'neilloutside.com.
Okay.
It's been a half an hour?
It sure
Oh,
is
is it time to pick a winner?
Yes, it is. Okay, so now...
Wait a minute. Wait. Don't forget, O'Neill Outside book. Kelton needs to know that, doesn't he?
I guess.
O'Neill Outside, 65 years in the outdoors. You can buy it at Amazon and at o'neilloutside.com. I had something else
We
here.
are waiting on Houston to give us an answer.
Okay, just stick around now.
So hold on a minute. She has to.
We'll let you know who won the.
Okay, and I'm gonna let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna here. You're gonna send your information to Houston at o'neilloutside.com.
Well, we need to pick the winner first,
I
don't we?
know, but I'm gonna go ahead and write this
Okay.
in here.
Okay, let's see if there's something else. Oh, next week, because I talk so much about one thing at a time, next week we're going to talk about the Carolina rig. I bet you haven't used that in a while, have you? Mm-hmm. The princess says she's going to write a chapter in that next book.
Yeah, let her go.
No, you're not. No, you're not either.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Carolina rig. That used to be the go-to thing 20 years ago for largemouth bass and spots in this time of year, those deep water spots, those deep water long point largemouth, Carolina rig. And we're going to talk about the intricacies of the Carolina rig and why you should use it again. Because I bet you don't now, but you should. Be sure and like and share and stay right there. We're going to pick the winner, or we're going to receive the winning pick.
She's working on it.
Okay.
Okay. So
just a minute.
Hold on.
All this talking makes me thirsty.
Okay.
Ah,
I'm trying
Susan,
to put in who
the
to
princess
send.
said I could write it. No, I couldn't either, darling. Huh? Oh, we could call Miss White Shoulders.
Yeah.
See?
All right, stand by. We're coming up with a
You
winner.
made an impression on me. Jack says the Carolina rig is still hot. Well, congratulations. It sure should be. But I never ever hear anything about the Carolina rig. It's always something new. And of course, the new stuff is not bad at all. The new stuff I told you about, the drop shot rig with the shot and lures up the line, that works.
Okay.
Okay. Who's the winner?
Okay, I have posted on the comments. When I tell you who the winner is, send your information to Houston@O'NeillOutside.com, and it is in the comments section. Okay.
Okay.
You have 2 weeks to claim your prize, and then give us 2 weeks to get it to you.
Okay.
And the winner is Kelton Pels.
No kidding.
Yep.
How did you get picked?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
It's completely at random. So Kelton won it, huh?
Yeah, Houston doesn't know any of y'all.
No,
so that's
uh-uh.
why we have her do it. So
It's an
yeah.
it's
Kelton.
an honest random pick, and Kelton won the Axis saw from Works. And thank you for your participation, for your tuning in. It worked for him, and you can send Kelton your information to Houston@O'NeillOutside.com. Give us 2 weeks to rustle up the Axis saw and get it over there to you. So there you are.
And he has 2 weeks to do that.
Okay.
If we don't hear from him in 2 weeks, it goes.
Well,
somewhere else.
he's on the line right there,
Is he
so he
already
evidently
there?
knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see it.
Well, I see it from here. So
Okay.
there you are, Kelton. You won the saw this time. But I didn't write a single word in my new book.
Oh, is he the one that said that?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, we'll get him to write a chapter. How about
Hey,
that?
man, how about that?
Yeah.
You write a chapter and send it to me.
And then
I won't
Susan-
believe a word you're saying.
And
What?
Susan can send one too.
Yeah, Susan can send. Miss White Shoulders can send a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there you are.
Are we done?
It's time to say goodnight, Gracie.
We'll see you next week. Oh, be sure and watch the radio. Be sure and listen to the radio show this Saturday.